This question is asked in the CBSE Sample paper 2025-26. This is a case study question. So in case study, you don't have to read the story part of it. You just have to look for the information that matter. So here it says that the structure is 42 meters tall. So this 42-meter tall structure was designed by so-and-so, which does not matter. A student named Shreya, that also does not matter. Here, the height of the student matters. The height is 1 meter. She observes the India Gate. So we'll look for more information. The angle of elevation is not given. We'll look at the first question here. What is the angle of elevation from Shreya's eye to the top of India Gate if she is standing at a distance of 41 meters away from the India Gate? So I'm going to draw the India Gate to be a vertical structure, and she's observing at a distance of 41 meters away from the India Gate. So here, this is the hypotenuse. This angle, we don't know it. We have to find that. So here the height of this structure is 42 meters. And moreover, she's observing it from a height of 1 meter. She's 1 meter tall, which means we have to include that also in the question. So this whole height would be 42 meters, and the small part represents Shreya's height, which is 1 meter. If you take away the height of 1 meter, this portion is 41 meters. So this becomes 41. I'm going to name the triangle as A, B, and C. This is also 41 because as given the question, she's standing at a distance of 41 meters away from the India Gate. Now, if we apply tan, so tan theta is equal to AB divided by BC. Tan theta is equal to, both values are 41 and 41. So 41 by 41. So which means tan theta is equal to 1. So this is possible only when the angle of elevation would be 45 degrees. Hence, the answer would be 45 degrees. This is a 1-mark question. So you try to answer this question in as less steps as possible. Moving on to the next question. If Shreya observes the angle of elevation from her eye to the top of India Gate to be 60 degrees. Now, we need to redraw this triangle. If she observes the angle of elevation to be 60 degrees, so we also need to include this small 1 meter height. So I'm including like this, right? So here she observes the whole building, which is 42 meters, and this is 60 degrees. And as before, the height of the girl is 1 meters, and here this height would be 41 meters. This 42 is from the ground level, and if you take away this 1 meter, you will be left with 41 meters in this triangle. So we are going to name this as something like P, Q, and R. Now, how far is she standing from the base of the India Gate? We need to find this distance, RQ. Excuse me. We need to apply tan once again because the opposite side is involved. The adjacent side is also involved. So tan 60 is equal to PQ divided by RQ. So root 3 is equal to, the value of PQ would be 41. The value of RQ, we don't know yet. So RQ is equal to 41 by root 3. It's not a good practice to leave an irrational number in the denominator. So rationalize the denominator. So it becomes 41 root 3 divided by 3 meters. She's standing at a distance of 41 root 3 by 3 meters. We don't have to convert this value into decimals because this 1.73 information is not mentioned in the question. So we'll leave it at that. Moving on to the next question. Here it is mentioned the angle of elevation from Shreya's eye changes from 45 degrees to 30 degrees when she moves some distance backwards from the original position. So let's try to represent this in a diagram. This is the whole height of this structure, 42 meters, and she's already 1 meter tall. Now I'm going to draw two positions of Shreya, which is one when she observes it at 45 degrees, one when she moves back and observes it at a different angle of elevation. Now, this small portion represents 1 meters, 1 meter, and this is also 1 meter. This whole structure is 42 meters, so which means this part would be 41 meters. Now there will be two angles of elevation, one when she is closer to the building and the other is when she is far from the building. Now there are two angles of elevation. If you observe, when you are closer to the building, be it any building, okay, when you're closer to any building, the angle of elevation would be more. When you move away from the building, so this would be, 1 second. Yeah, so this would be 45 degrees and this would be 30 degrees. So remember this, when you are closer to the building, the angle of elevation would be more. And the opposite happens when you move farther from the building. Right. Now we have two triangles, A, B, C, and D. If you take triangle A, B, and C, here, since this angle is 45 degrees, the other angle should also be 45 degrees. It becomes an isosceles right triangle. So AB is equal to BC. So BC would also be equal to 41. So that was what mentioned in the original question, if you remember, the first subdivision. And now we'll take triangle A, B, and D. Here we'll apply tan 30 degrees because we need to find what is this BD. So tan 30 degrees is equal to opposite side, which is AB divided by BD. Tan 30 is what? 1 divided by root 3. AB is what? 41 meters divided by, we don't know BD value yet. So BD is equal to 41 root 3. We need to find CD, find the distance she moves back. So we need to find this small distance of CD. We obtain CD by subtracting BD minus BC. We know BC already 41 meters and BD we have just found it out. So 41 root 3 minus 41. So that would be 41 root 3 minus 1 meters. You don't have to convert root 3 to 1.732 because that is not mentioned in the question. So you need to complete the answer saying the distance she moves is 41 times root 3 minus 1 meters. The next question. If Shreya moves to a point, which is at a distance of 41 root 3, 41 divided by root 3 meters from the India Gate, find the angle of elevation made by her to the top of India Gate. Okay. I'm drawing a rectangle below because that represents a small height of 1 meters from the ground level. Here, the whole height again is 42. This part would be 41. And this height of hers is 1 meter. Now, we need to find the angle of elevation theta. This part Now this distance, she's at a distance of 41 divided by root 3. 41 divided by root 3 meters. Now if you apply tan theta, so that would be opposite side, which is 41 divided by 41 divided by root 3. So what happens to 41? They get cancelled. This root 3 moves to the top. So tan theta is equal to root 3. Now theta is equal to 60 degrees. The angle of elevation is equal to 60 degrees. The same information was provided in the second subdivision, if you remember. Here, tan 60 was 41 by root 3. That was the answer we obtained. So here, this information is given in the question. 41 by root 3 is given in the question. She's at a distance of this 41 by root 3. Now, the angle of elevation would be 60 degrees. If you have any other questions to discuss, or if you have any other queries or doubt questions, please leave it in the comment section. I'll try to make a video on this.